What if Real Madrid are about to bring back their most controversial manager ever? What if Florentino Perez has already made his decision and doesn't care who disagrees? Because this is not just a rumor anymore, this is power move territory. Reports are now saying that Jose Mourinho is the clear favorite to become Real Madrid's next manager. Not one of the options, not a backup plan, the favorite. And here's the part that makes it even more interesting. The release clause, apparently not a problem. That's right. The financial side, the contract complications, all the boring stuff that usually slows down big moves, Madrid are basically saying we'll handle it. Which tells you one thing. This is not a casual idea. This is something Perez actually wants. Now think about the context. Real Madrid are coming off a disappointing period. The squad is stacked with stars, expectations are insane, and yet the results haven't matched the hype. And when things don't go according to plan at Madrid, they don't rebuild slowly, they react. And historically, they love going back to what they know. They did it with Carlo Ancelotti. They did it with Zinedine Zidane. So now the question is, are they about to do it again with Mourinho? Because make no mistake, this is not a safe choice. Mourinho is chaos. Controlled chaos, but still chaos. His previous time at Madrid was intense. Trophies, rivalries, dressing room tension, media battles, basically everything you'd expect when Mourinho is involved. And yet, despite all of that, Perez still trusts him. That tells you how highly he rates him. But not everyone at the club agrees. There is internal opposition to Mourinho's return. People inside the club are not fully convinced this is the right direction. And honestly, that makes sense. Because Mourinho is not the kind of manager who quietly fits into a system. He is the system. And that creates friction. Now let's talk about the alternatives, because this is where it gets even more interesting. Names like Jurgen Klopp, Didier Deschamps, Mauricio Pochettino have all been mentioned. But here's the twist. Klopp, for example, is reportedly not favored by Perez because he wants too much control. He likes to rebuild clubs in his own image, and Madrid don't do that. At Real Madrid, the club identity comes first. Managers adapt, not the other way around. And Mourinho, he already understands that system. He knows the pressure, he knows the politics, he knows how Madrid works, which is exactly why Perez is leaning toward him. There are even reports that Perez is already planning a meeting with Mourinho to push this forward. So this isn't just speculation floating around social media. This is active movement behind the scenes. Now here's where things get complicated. Football has changed since Mourinho last managed Madrid. Players have changed. The dressing room culture has changed. The game itself has evolved. So the big question is, does Mourinho still fit? Or is this one of those nostalgic decisions that looks good in headlines, but becomes messy in reality? Because let's be honest, if this happens, it won't be quiet. It will be headlines every week. Press conferences turning into drama. Players being questioned. Tactics being debated. Basically, peak entertainment. And maybe that's exactly what Real Madrid want. Not just results, but control, authority, a strong personality who can handle a squad full of superstars without blinking, because right now that might be exactly what they're missing. So here we are, a club under pressure, a president making a bold call, and a manager who never does anything halfway. If Mourinho returns to Real Madrid, this won't just be a managerial appointment, this will be a statement. And knowing football, it's either going to be genius or absolute chaos. Probably both. Now move over to Paris because Khvicha Kvaratskhelia has basically told Arsenal to keep waiting. His father, Badri Kvaratskhelia, says the PSG winger has no intention of leaving this summer, despite persistent interest from Arsenal. The 25-year-old is said to be fully committed to PSG's project as they chase back-to-back Champions League titles. In plain football language, that means the rumors are loud, but the player's side is not entertaining a move right now. So yes, Arsenal are sniffing around again because apparently every transfer window they are legally required to be linked with at least half of Europe's attack-minded players. That does not mean the story is dead forever, of course. It just means PSG are currently holding the stronger hand. Kvaratskhelia looks settled, the family message is clear, and PSG still see him as part of a title-chasing setup. When a player's camp speaks this directly, it is usually not because they want chaos. It is because they want control. Arsenal may still admire the player, but admiration is not the same thing as a signed contract, no matter how many hopeful transfer accounts act like it is. Then, there is Julian Alvarez, who has now reached the stage where he is not even pretending to be polite about transfer gossip. He has responded angrily to fresh Barcelona links, calling the whole thing a snowball of lies. The reports came as Atletico Madrid prepare for a crucial Champions League semi-final against Arsenal, and the noise around Barca has only grown because the Catalan club are reportedly searching for a long-term successor to Robert Lewandowski. Some claims even suggested Barca had already contacted Atletico, while Alvarez's camp has strongly pushed back and said the family talk was fabricated. That is the football media machine in one sentence. One rumor becomes 10, and then the player has to spend half his week denying a fantasy somebody else invented. And speaking of clubs hunting for edges, Barcelona are apparently already planning their next transfer raid, and Tottenham may be the victims. Barca are tracking Xavi Simons along with 4 other Spurs players, with the article naming Mickey van de Ven, Christian Romero, Lucas Bergvall, and Pedro Porro as targets being monitored. The wild part is the timing, because this is being framed as a cut price move, while Tottenham are in relegation danger. That is peak big club behavior. The minute a rival starts looking weak, the Sharks appear with a shopping list. Finally, there is the Carvajal and Trent moment, which is not even transfer drama, just pure football pettiness in its natural habitat. Danny Carvajal was caught on camera appearing to mock Trent Alexander-Arnold from the Real Madrid bench during the draw with Real Betis. The gesture looked like a walking motion seemingly aimed at Trent's defensive urgency after he failed to track a runner. That is the sort of little sideline jab that tells you footballers remember everything, even when they are not supposed to. Subtle? Sure. Petty? Absolutely. Entertaining? Completely.